day, everyone. Welcome to her comeback. This is a special episode that I'm bringing to you this week. I wanted to take some time and share with you a little bit about my story. We talk about women over 50 transforming their lives and creating for themselves a life that they want. So I'd like to share with you my journey and bring you into the experiences that I've had and the things that have made me the person that I am today. Five transformations that changed everything for me. At 37, I thought my life was over. I was drowning in a bottle. I was stuck in patterns that were destroying my career, my family, my soul. But today, at 54, I am living a life I couldn't have imagined back then. And if you're at a place in your life where you've had enough, who's hit your own rock bottom, and you're ready to look outside yourself for help, I want to share with you five transformations that took me from hopelessness to absolutely living my best life. So let me ask you something. Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, yeah, this is not the life I planned? How many of you have felt stuck, invisible, or even like your best days are behind you? At 37, alcohol was controlling every aspect of my life. It was holding me back in my career. It was destroying my relationships. I was twice divorced at that point, and it was just crushing my spirit. I was hopeless, desperate, and completely powerless. But in that rock bottom moment, here's what I've learned. That bottom has become a solid foundation, which I've been able to rebuild everything. And the message that I have for you, maybe your rock bottom moment doesn't have anything to do with alcohol or addiction. It could be whatever that looks like for you. The point is that your lowest point isn't your end point, it's your starting point. And when you finally had enough, you have the motivation finally to do whatever it takes to change. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. That transformation for me at 37 was foundational. Without it, I would not have been able to move on and move forward in my life with all of the wonderful things that have followed. The next transformation I want to talk to you about is just the power of taking action despite fear. What if I told you that at age 47, as a single mom, working full time, I decided to go back to school to get my MBA. And this was not an online course. This was in the classroom 2 nights a week for 3 hours for 2 years. This was a serious commitment, working full time, going to class, studying, doing small group, two kids at home. My boys were teenagers at this point. It was crazy. People thought I was crazy. Why are you doing that? But I knew if I wanted to advance my career and go further in business, this was something that I wanted. It was something that I found would really help me grow and develop in the business world. And I had to do it. I wanted to do it. And I had to bet on myself. It required incredible time management, getting everything done, being able to do what needed to happen, sacrifice, and commitment. But those 2 years gave me not only just education, which was fantastic. There was a lot that happened from when I was in college to 25 years later in business. The whole thing with the internet, digital marketing, e-commerce, all of that happened since the last time I was in college. So it was just wonderful being able to learn and understand more about how things work in today's world. So it's not just that education that I received, but it was invaluable connections. And most importantly, It was proof, my first proof that I had that I could do hard things. And I'm so glad I stuck with it and finished. It was an amazing accomplishment for me. And it all came from just taking the action in spite of the fear, walking through the fear, having the courage to walk through it. The key message is after 50, we often think it's too late to do this, too late to make big changes. But what if now was actually the perfect time? You have the wisdom, you have the experience, and you have nothing left to prove to anyone but yourself. Go for it. Step out of that comfort zone. Do that thing you want to do, whether it's further in your education or that new business idea, whatever that looks like for you. Take action and walk through that fear. The second transformation I want to talk about is following your heart, not your fears. That fear comes up in a lot, right? It certainly has for me. So, following my heart. So, at 49, I made a decision that everyone thought was probably impulsive, but I moved to Florida. It was just before my 50th birthday. My 50th birthday would be later that year. And for me, it felt like the stars had aligned. This was in 2020 during COVID. My youngest son graduated from high school and we were sent home to work. And there was no reason that I needed to stay in North Carolina. I had been thinking about it for many years. I had visited Southwest Florida with family, and I knew I loved it down here, but I knew that the timing wasn't right. And at what point the timing was right, I was ready to go. Well, that happened for me in 2020. So I said, okay, now's the time. I don't have anything holding me back in North Carolina anymore. So I packed my bags and packed my U-Haul with everything I own and took off to Southwest Florida. I didn't know what was going to happen with my job because I knew at some point they were going to call us back into the office, which, at that time, the job I had, we had to go to an office and work. So I didn't know what was going to happen with that. But I was determined I'm going to go down there. I'm going to get settled. I'm going to meet my people, connect, and I'll figure it out. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'll figure it out. And that was my attitude. And that's exactly what I did. And I just can tell you the move to Florida was absolutely one of the best decisions I've ever made. Today, I feel like I'm a native Floridian. I've only been here 5 years, but I just love it. And the beauty around me fills my soul. I wake up grateful every single day that I'm able to live in what I believe is a paradise. So follow your heart, not your fears. Stop waiting for the perfect time or the perfect plan. There's no such thing. Sometimes you have to just take a leap and build your wings on the way down. And that's really what I did in this scenario. Your intuition knows things that your logical mind haven't figured out yet. So follow that gut, listen to it, do it. The third transformation I want to talk to you about is rewriting the story about what's possible. After moving to Florida, I went in for an annual physical. And at that point, I was 50 pounds heavier than what I am right now. And during that physical, my doctor told me that given my family history and heredity, I have heart disease. It's rampant on both sides of my family. And with that and the weight that I was carrying around, I was not on a good trajectory with my health. But my doctor said, listen, if you can lose this weight, you will significantly change your circumstances and you'll be able to put yourself in a better, healthier place. But you've got to get rid of this weight. And when she told me that, lose 40, 50 pounds, I was like, yeah, right. That can't happen. I'm over 50. My metabolism is way slower than it was when I was 25. My age, my genetics, it can't happen. And I believed that belief it was as true to me as the sky is blue. I can't lose weight. 100% I believe that. But after that conversation with her, I had just a little bit of willingness. I was like, maybe I can try this thing for a month. She had given me, recommended a particular diet regimen just to try and see how it worked out. And I was like, you know what? I'll try it just for a month. And if somehow I'm able to lose 10 pounds, that'll be great. I'll give it a shot. So I was pretty skeptical, to say the least, when I went out here and tried this. I lost those 10 pounds. And what was incredible is I felt amazing. I felt so much better. I had energy that I hadn't had. Over the next few months, I didn't just lose the 50 pounds. I actually got down to a size 4. I had told myself long ago, oh, you'll never be a size 6. And for years, I kept these clothes hanging in my closet that were size 6. And then at some point, I don't know how many years ago, I gave that up. I'm getting rid of the size 6s. That is done. That will never happen for me again. And then here we go. Through this experience, not only did I get down to that size 6, I actually made it to a 4. So that journey in weight loss was so illuminating for me because it truly showed me how I hold myself back. I tell myself things that are true and accept them as truth that are 100% not true. So, what is it that's holding you back? The biggest barrier to transformation, it isn't your age, it isn't your circumstances, it isn't your past, but it's those limiting beliefs that you've accepted as true. What stories are you telling yourself today that's keeping you stuck? Think about it. The next transformation I want to talk about is discovering your body's amazing potential. With fitness, I never have had a gym membership. It just wasn't my thing. I'm not a gym person. It just wasn't something that interests me. I would take walks now and then, do some yoga here and there. I had a few things, but there was never a serious fitness regimen for me. But at 53, I had a situation where I was facing incredible stress. I was still working at that corporate job where I was working from home, but there were some things that happened there that just were not working for me. A promotion I should have gotten, a new boss, yet leadership changes. And so there's just some things that way beyond my control that I wasn't happy about. And it was just stressing me out so much. I was just crazy with how the stress from this job was affecting me. And so I was talking to a friend of mine, and she said, Shell, I know, I hear you're stressed. You're so stressed out. What are you doing to let this stuff go? How are you releasing your stress? I'm like, what a good question. Absolutely nothing is what I'm doing. But that comment made me really think. I'm like, okay, I have got to do something. She's absolutely right. Maybe if I can do some type of physical release, I'll feel better. So I started looking around and then came across this place that was new to me. A particular gym has been around a while, but I hadn't heard of it before. And the format is that you sign up for classes and then you have a coach that's there and you have a group and they guide you through different things, whether you're doing some time on the treadmill, doing some time on a rower, doing some time with weights. There's someone there to guide you through and a larger group of people that you're able to follow each other in the particular workout for that day. So I said, let me give it a try. So I showed up and again, pretty skeptically. I didn't know if this is going to be my thing at all or not because it never really clicked with me before. And I did that first class. And I tell you, that first class absolutely kicked my butt. But I can tell you this, when I walked out of there, I felt mental freedom, clarity that I haven't felt in months. It's really true what they say, the endorphins you get from exercise. Oh my gosh, how fantastic. I couldn't believe the difference. So I wasn't going to look back. I knew I had found this the best thing since sliced bread for me at the time, and I was going to run with it. And I continued. And today, as I sit here, I work out 3 to 4 times a week, same gym. It is part of my regimen, wouldn't do without it. And I can tell you, I went from literally couch potato, someone who did not exercise, who did little to nothing at 53. 15 months later, there was a particular competition that they were doing at my gym that involved a 5K tread, a 2,000-meter row, and 300 reps with the weights. And I did that all in under an hour. I think my time was 52 minutes or something like that. If that's not transformation, I don't know what is. Your body is not done surprising you. Age is not a limitation, it's just information. When you're willing to be a beginner again, you can discover capabilities you never knew you had. And there's stories like mine. I talk to a lot of women and I hear other women say similar things. And for them, maybe it's not the gym, it's pickleball. Oh, I play pickleball and I'm in the best shape I've ever been, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter what the fitness activity is, just do it. Your body will surprise you. Your capability is amazing. All you got to do is be willing to give it a shot. The fifth transformation that I'm going to talk to you about today is choosing courage over comfort. My most challenging transformation so far, leaving my corporate job to build my own coaching business. Man, I was locked in those golden handcuffs. It took a lot for me to walk away from the steady paycheck, the benefits, all the security that came with a corporate job. It took a lot for me to walk away from that. But I was done letting someone else control my potential and my growth, and someone else assign or determine my value. I refuse to start over in another corporate job just to end up in the same place where someone else gets to decide how far I go and what I get to do. So I took a bet on myself. I explored the area of passion that I have, which is helping other women do things that I'm talking to you about today. I got my life coach certification and I started building this business. And every day I wake up excited about what's next. This chapter is still being written, but I can tell you this last year has been the most amazing journey for me. I never would have imagined having a podcast, getting to know a beautiful network of women, so many people I've crossed paths with this last year. Speaking opportunities that I get to go and share my story and encourage other women to not settle for less, to know that you can have that life of happiness, purpose, and fulfillment. It's waiting for you just outside your comfort zone. This is what I'll say about starting my own business. The scariest transformation often leads to the most fulfilling life. And for you as well, you didn't survive everything you've survived in your life to date just to settle for something that doesn't excite you. What's that passion you want to follow? What's that dream you're ready to chase? Start today. It's not too late. You're not too old. The time is now. And I want you to hear this. You're exactly where you need to be to start this new chapter in your life. There's 3 questions that I want you to consider for your own transformation. What rock bottom moment can be your launching pad? Think about it. And the second question, what story about what's possible at your age needs to be rewritten? What is it that you're telling yourself? And number three, if you knew you could not fail, you had unlimited resources, money, time, there were no constraints. If you knew you could not fail, what would you do in the next 90 days? Brainstorm, write down some things. No constraints. What would you do in the next 90 days? So, in closing today, years ago, I thought my best days were behind me. I thought my life was over, fun was over. It was just downhill from here. And what I can tell you is that that is the absolute furthest thing from the truth. Today, I know my best days are right now. I am living my best days right now in the present. And I know that the days are going to get even better ahead. So your transformation doesn't start when you have it all figured out. No, it starts when you've had enough of where you are and you're willing to take that first step towards where you want to go. The woman you're meant to become is just waiting on the other side of the decision you're afraid to make. Your time is now. Your life is waiting. Let's make it happen. Contact me today to begin your journey. As your life coach, I'll be there every step of the way, giving you the support, the inspiration, the encouragement, and the confidence that you need to make for your comeback. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I am truly grateful that you chose to listen in, and I hope that this conversation sparks something meaningful for you. Please take a moment to subscribe, leave a review. It helps other women to find us who need to hear these stories too. And if you know someone who is ready for their own comeback, share this episode with them. I'd love to connect with you beyond the podcast. Visit me at hercomebackpodcast.com. That's hercomebackpodcast.com to learn more about how we can work together. I have a gift for you. Get your free copy today of 5 powerful shifts to reclaim your life. Remember, your comeback story is waiting to be written. The question isn't, can I transform my life? The question is, are you ready? Let's go.